there were plenty of things that Dick taught me, and what I could learn from him, in this the whole journey of the time that I could spend with him. He taught me how to be resilient, how to take responsibility. Goal setting was an amazing exercise which he shared with me, and I think anybody setting a goal the way Dick taught, there's no way how you would not achieve that goal, is what I believed, or I kind of worked. But back then, of the many things that he was teaching me, I could understand and grasp, my consciousness or my cognitive sense could understand and grasp a lot of things. But what I couldn't pick up was my blame list. I couldn't leave that. I couldn't stop complaining about, or couldn't stop blaming some people, because I never understood that how it is not their fault. This is something which I learned after a long time. This is something which took me a lot of time to learn. Like I would always blame the prices or economy or some staff who left me, or it was very easy for me. And back then, this is like 2007, 2008. That was quite a transition for me to come out of the fact that I cannot blame that person because I have invited that, or I have attracted that in some way. Now, this is what Dick used to tell me. He says, Anil, it's not what happens that determines the course of our future, because what happens to all of us. It's how you respond after what has happened determines your future, Anil. Now that paused me. Now I know it's a very simple thing, and anybody would understand this, but back then this is something that I didn't know. He said to do different things with the same circumstance, and that is what will change the future course, because we cannot change the circumstance, and because we cannot change the circumstance, there is a limitation that we have in the access to alter the circumstance, and therefore we should be able to work on ourselves, work on our thoughts, work on the way we respond to that circumstance. This was something which was brilliant. And to take that to the next level, this is what he used to tell when I used to meet him, and luckily I could meet him for some more time than most of the participants. I think that's what determined a lot of things. I got a mentor in him. He said, what you have now is what you have attracted by the person you've become. So if you don't want this and if you want that, you have to become a different person to attract that. Boy, and the way he said it with that voice and with that depth, with that intensity, it just drilled into me. Something so simple, right? He said, Anil, what you've attracted now, whether it's those negative people that you say, or the less money that you have, or whatever you're saying, what you have right now, is because you have attracted that. Now, by saying that, he just put the whole responsibility on me by saying, Anil, it's not their fault. It's you who have done that. It's you. So today I want to share this with you, probably just taking from what I learned from my master, and I would just like to share with you. And I want to tell you that if you have pennies in your pocket, nothing in your bank, and if you're behind on your promises, and if you're avoiding the creditors, then I want to tell you that you have also attracted this. And if you have attracted this, it's because of the person you are. And if you want to attract something else, you have to become a different person. So to attract more, become more. The moment you start upgrading yourself, the moment you start altering the course of your response, the way you intake data, the way you respond to situation, that's what changes everything. Everything changes over there. He says, how do you change everything? Simple, by changing yourself. And he says, you don't have to change everything. You have to only change yourself. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Wow. What a simple piece of information that is. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's so simple. We don't have to change anything on the outside. We have to only change things on the inside. He says, this is another gem he says, don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish you had less problems. Wish you had more skills. What a gem that man was, and I was just lucky. So just to share that further, just to take that a little more further, I'll say, have you ever wondered why somebody is more successful or why somebody is a little more better. Why? Because they have raised their standard, be it personal, be it professional, be it in relation, be it in the organization. Raise your standard. How do you raise your standard? By reading more, by exercising more, by meditating more, by networking more, by getting diverse network availability in your reach, in your access. Now that's going to create lasting change. Lasting change is the key, because if you don't raise your standard, you may bring change, but that change will not be everlasting. To create everlasting change, you have to upgrade yourself, become more than who you are. With the existing values, with the existing learning, from the existing coordinate, even if you lose weight or even if you attract money, guess what? You'll get back where you began. Why do I say this? Because with the existing standard, you will attract the existing stuff. In order to attract the different, you must become different. So raise your bar. Raising your bar, you raise your standards, you raise everything. And when everything changes, the circumstance outside which you've attracted also changes. So to create everlasting change, you must raise your standard. You must convert your shoulds into must. Instead of saying, oh, I should have gone for a walk, you should say, I must go for a walk. I should have read a book. I must read a book. The shoulds in your life is convenience and comfortable. But when adversities come, when trials come, when troubles come, the musts survive. The shoulds are in the comfortable zone. You know, what happens if you get up at 7 o'clock for a meeting at 7 o'clock? How do you go for the meeting? You rush like lightning. But in that rush, do you think you'll forget to brush your teeth? No, you will brush your teeth because you know that you must brush your teeth. But when you're late, when there's adversity, would you meditate in the morning for 5 minutes at that time? No, because that's a should. I should have done it. The shoulds get diluted. The shoulds get written off. But the musts don't. The moment you convert all the shoulds in your life into musts, I'm telling you, you begin to raise your standard. You begin to raise your bar. And now things change for yourself. So you don't have to change things on the outside. You have to only change things in your inside. So remember, if you got things negative than what you wanted in your life, remember you have attracted it by becoming this person who you are right now. And you have full responsibility of your life to become a new person, no matter who you are and no matter where you're from. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. It doesn't matter. It matters what you do from where you start from. The aim is not to complete something. The aim is to keep doing it. That discipline is important. The discipline is very, very important. When you are put yourself on a journey, when you stay put on that committed track, I'm telling you, things will change for you. I'm telling you, you begin to raise your standards. Raise your standards. If you just liked what you saw, hit the like button right now. And if you want to see more of such interesting videos, subscribe to our channel and keep the notification on. Write to me in the comment section and let us know what is that you want to hear more on the immense and infinite possibilities of the human mind. Up until the next time we meet, bye.